Testing, testing. Hey guys. Excuse me. Hey guys. Dante here. And welcome back to my channel, The Burgos Art, and welcome back to another Sunday night art stream. Your eyes do not deceive you. After much joking about it, I decided let's make a bingo card. Today's gonna be a really chill art stream. I've been working on one particular art project on and off today. Take my time with it because it's not quite across the finish line, but it's so close I could taste it. It's just giving me issues. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just checking my audio. Audio seems good. Background music seems at a pretty good volume. You know, just some ambiance. But yeah, today. Lower the volume for me. Hold on. Hey, intern. There we go. All right. So today we shall be making a bingo card. Essentially, I want to do something fun. Heck, we might even hit a few bingos today. Something chill, something relaxed. And I don't know, maybe it's a template. Maybe other people on entering streaming either on YouTube or on Twitch could use this, especially for artists. So far, we have bots selling you OnlyFans. People who are just like, come see my pictures. Someone new in the chat, drawing on the wrong layer. That's for us artists. A brand new follower. You have your free space, obviously in the center. A bot selling you views, which we get a lot here. Forgetting to save, which can also work for video games, and a raid. Those are the things that come to mind right now. And yeah, I just went online, looked at some nice references for bingo cards, and just pulled this together real quick for stream bingo. That's what we're gonna be doing today. As for the project that I've been working on, some of you who follow me probably on Blue Sky or Twitter, and or Instagram know that back in October, I was going to try the lofty idea of making an inflatable cosplay costume. I was going to dress up as the Boogeyman from the real Ghostbusters cartoon. Recently, of this past year, Mondo released a very nice big figurine of the Boogeyman. So I had this solid 3D model, and I met the guy who did the 3D modeling on that. I got his autograph on a cool poster that Mondo was handing out. He didn't draw the poster, but I told him, I like to collect people's autographs, so I got his autograph for that. And I began the arduous process of trying my very first inflatable costume. Of course, I chose the most hardest thing to do. But life got in the way. Life got in the way for Comic-Con. Life got in the way for October and Halloween, and it just sat on a table I've had for these past few months. And forgive me, I'm picking glue off my fingers, which is relevant to the story. So I finally finished the sewing of it. I have finished sewing this monstrosity because the Boogeyman's head takes up like 1/3 of his body. So from the waist down, I would just wear like a simplified suit and tie. I wasn't gonna try and give myself his goat legs and his proportions, just a regular suit and tie. I was gonna have this giant inflatable head, as opposed to making a giant head out of, like, let's say EVA foam, which would have been about a lot more solid, to be honest, and of course a lot closer to the shape. But they have to carry that around, so I made an inflatable head. Now, try as you must. I did all the patterns and everything correct, if you would. But when you inflate something, it pushes out. So even though I did all the patterns, many areas that indent, such as the eye sockets or the cheekbones, still push out. Long story short, it does inflate. The blue of his hair inflates, but the white seems to be porous. It's the same fabric. It is PU, yes, it's called PU coated nylon. So I don't know if it's that the white just ends up being more porous, or it's because there's more stitching in the face. There's a lot of stitching I gave the face, but it does inflate. Like, I know it's working. It's just not pressured enough to hold its own weight. So I tried a few things. I am not using Scotch Guard because Scotch Guard isn't meant for that. Everyone says use Scotch Guard. Even Scotch Guard itself says it would not make something wind resistant. That's the whole idea behind it. So instead, on the inside of this giant inflatable head, I have been painting really thin layers of it's just an acrylic varnish. It's like you mix it with your acrylic to either thin it out or to add a gloss. It's this old, it's pretty much just glue, really. It's this old bottle of like acrylic medium varnish. I've been doing very thin layers on the white portions of the face to see if I could like gunk up the seams in the fabric. I also, when I inflated it, I also found lots of holes that I missed doing the sewing of it because it's my first time doing a big sewing project like this. So I went back in and I sewed these little small holes. And I'm kind of at an impasse now where I could continue trying to add thin layers of this paint, if you would. Or I put 2 fans in it to really push the air out. Maybe a little bit of column A and B will work. But rather than get too stressed over it, I have it sitting in my living room right now. I'll do a few more layers of that varnish and see if it really coats the white plastic enough to push against it. And then we'll see where it goes. But it is sewn together and it does look good. It just won't stand on its own weight. So we'll see about that as a project I'm working on the side. But for now, we're doing bingo. My main issue is I don't know what else to add to it right now. So what I'm going to do is lock the text layer. We have one layer, which is the entire background, and one layer for the text. And what I'm going to do now is I'm thinking of splat. I'm thinking of green. You know me and my lime green colors. I'm thinking of making a splat as opposed to like a check mark. Excuse me. So let's draw a splat. And that splat will be on each box. And I have a folder for each splat, and just open that layer so we can see it. So theoretically, let's go with our splat. We start off now. Should it just be like a if we splat, then we can't really see what's behind it. So I'm thinking a splat or a check. We could do a check and then make that look like paint. So we'll try different things. So I start with a basic pen tool. Then I use what's called Darker Bleed. That is a India ink tool. I like that. No, sorry, correction. That's the wrong one. That's what we used for speckles on our comic page. Was it beneath realistic? There we go. Underneath realistic brush, I think it was. Is this the one? Let me see. No, it's not that one. Got too many tools. There it is. It's pointillism underneath thick. Is it thick paints or thick brush? It is thick paint. The paintbrush is called pointillism. And it adds just enough of a little messiness around the edges that I like it. It adds just enough of a little splat. So I'm going to go with that. There's also one that's a bit more, I think it's oil paint. Now there's one that gives you a nice, there it is, that's the gouache. The gouache brush usually has a bit of opacity to it. Don't know why this doesn't. Try gouache. Strange. Usually these have a bit of a, let me see, let me try watercolor. Where are we? Is it this one? No, that's too soft. One of these had a nice opacity and a rough edge. It had both. Oh, no, don't do that. It had both. Just remember, I'm trying to remember which one it was. Not that one. Interesting. Okay, we'll stick with pointillism now. Just for the edges. Rough edges. And then we can use the erase tool. Alright, let's put it at 6. Let me check something real quick. Yeah, our sensitivity is a little weird. Nothing horrible, but it is a little weird. So we use our erase tool, kneaded eraser. That way I could, like, you know, do little blotches, make it look a bit more splattered. Back to the brush tool. It's too even on this side. Feels like my pen tool is having a little bit of issue when it comes to sensitivity. It's not horrible, but it is weird. There's also a textured pen, which is nice. Trying to get that nice balance where you can see through it. So theoretically, if I take this, yeah, something like that. And then thinking little highlights, if that makes sense. Sorry if you hear my phone going off. It is not intentional. There we go. So I do kind of like that. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. So that's one option, right? Now, granted, we're talking green and red, which is a green on a red background, which visually it is a little confusing. I'll admit that. Like I said, we can't see what's there. So the other option would be to just go with your standard check mark. What brush would be good for that? Basic black brush. No, there's a pen somewhere here. There's pastel, there's pen. Is it calligraphy pen? I always forget. That's airbrush. 1 second. Watercolor, realistic. Ooh, nope. That's not good. That's too big. Could just be that. Looking for something. No. I'm just going through different tools we have here. Nah. If it was a stamp. Something that looks like a stamp. That'd be nice. Look, this basic black is boring. But the green, the green on the red background, maybe it might not work as well. Yep, we're making a stream of bingo card. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way as a marker. Like you know, when you win, not when you win, but when you hit a bingo point, you stamp it or you put an X. One idea is that it's a little, we can use a little green splotch because I like the lime green colors. My only issue is that lime green with a red background is a bit much visually. Red and green are complementary colors, so it gets a little. Some people it bothers some people, and there's also the idea of I need to fill this card out with other ideas. Any ideas? Any ideas? What else should go into this? That might work. I could lower the opacity. I mean, lowering the opacity also helps because you'll then be able to see the font behind it. I could keep the color and just kind of slightly dip the opacity. We can also go with just a basic X. So basic X using this tool does give an opacity. It's just the color. I'm worried about the color. I'm thinking we should just keep it basic black. I want to keep the bingo card red. It's kind of a standard. Yeah, these are both options. You know what? For now, we'll stick with black. Yeah. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Copy, paste. Move that over. Right? Copy, paste. Move that over. We're going to do one for each. And that's it. Just this way. I just tap the layer, right? And hide it, or don't hide it, and that basically makes it a mark on the box. I'm going to have to make... I'm making so many layers right now, just copying and pasting this. Whew. I gotta collect all these layers and put them into one big folder now. Let's see, that's that. That's that. Yep. Okay. All into one folder, and this folder will be called X. Art rag. I like that. See, if this was if this was a stream where I was like at my art table, and any artist who's used watercolor or acrylic paint, they know the issue where you have two cups on the table, and one of them is your drink, and one of them is your water and or paint thinner, and there's always that moment where you almost or probably will accidentally drink from the wrong cup or dip your brush into the wrong cup. Art rage, not art rag. Sorry, I didn't see that. Art rage. It's like rage quitting. I like that. You know what? Yeah. Why not? Let's put that in there. Let me just undo these real quick. I am gonna rename these particular layers. But yeah, art rage, that's a good one. Let's put it here. Don't know why it keeps defaulting to red. I hate when it does that. Art rage. Essentially referring to just kind of like a rage quit. I like that. Art rage. That's that. That's that. Where did I just put art rage? Where'd you go, art rage? Where'd that layer go? Oh, doi. Second line from the top. It is after new chat. Okay, that's that one. That should not be there. That should be. I'm also trying to keep them organized as to where they sit. So, boom. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Okay, we're good. We're good. Thank you for the advice on that. Save. Save. I don't want to utilize the bingo card right now until we actually get a bit more in there. But I think what we should do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm gonna take these and drop them into a subfolder. Line 1. That way I know where to find them. One, 2, 3, 4, and this should be 5. Alright, that's line 1. I'm just organizing them now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Call that line 2. I know this isn't really riveting artwork, but this is fun. I'm taking it easy tonight. Nice. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doing this for each row. So each row is in a folder. That way I just press it and then I know that's been checked off. I just have to remember, like, I still got a little bit of that Adobe Photoshop in me. Based on how it's like, based on how you drop the layers into a folder, it'll sometimes reorganize them. So if I take 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and drop it into a folder in Clip Studio, they go in just like that. But I remember my old Photoshop program, my old one, if you took those layers and dropped them in, it would reverse the order of the layers. Pain in the butt back then, but if you knew it did that, it's like if you were, ooh, wait, no, someone's in there that shouldn't be in there. Who's in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snuck out. I counted 5, forgetting that bingo doesn't count. Not bingo, sorry. The free space doesn't count. That's meant to say. And that is line 3. You'd be surprised how hard it is to get that star right. Like, you think it's just doing like the typical cross lines and you get a perfect star. It is not that. I was trying over and over again and I couldn't get the proportions right. So I went and found one of the writing tools in this where when you draw it just makes stars. Chose the biggest pen point, which was like I chose like I don't know, like 100 pixels, and popped once, and it gave me a really blurry as hell single star, and I used that as a stencil. I just couldn't get the star right. Okay, 1, 2, no, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So what's going on in the world now that isn't complete chaos? I keep seeing advertisements for the new season of freaking Primal, baby. I keep seeing that pop up on TV a lot. I'm not sure if it's premiered yet. I need to check because I really like that series, and I felt where it ended was like, that's pretty cool. It's like a little melancholy, but also like it makes sense. Given the characters, like that kind of, you know, it was Gendy himself who said the idea is that the character of Spear is climbing upward in his evolution, while the character of, well, actually no, they're both climbing upward in their evolution. Spear's climbing upward, and so is Fang. But Fang is at the end of her evolution, and Spear has more to go. And they were at that midpoint when they met. And by the end of the story, despite the evolution, society-wise, Spear had reached his end. Like, he couldn't fit into this society that wasn't the primal society he came from. So I thought the ending was pretty cool. And then I was at Comic-Con, and I got to see Todoroki himself talk about the new season. Like, he was like, I'm so excited, you know, to do this. and it was really cool, like getting the sneak peek ahead of time. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. How did it happen? Why has it happened? And I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. That's a show I want to see so bad. Yeah, yeah. So I'm like super excited to see where it goes now. Like, number one, like, do they even explain how he's a zombie? Big spoilers if you haven't seen a commercial for it. But also, like, where does it go from? You know, what is the step from that? And what's interesting, if you watch the episodes, you know, the actual series beforehand, there's that one, like, wild, like, super rabies zombie-esque episode where they're freaking being chased by, like, a zombie, go say long neck. A zombie long neck dinosaur. And there's like a whole sequence where like Spear has a nightmare where he becomes that. Like he becomes this undead creature. And I'm like, oh, like to suddenly make that like the plot point of this this new season? I don't know, I'm excited. I'm just wondering how long has it been since the end of the series to now? Like when we see Spear's daughter, name I believe still unknown. She's like, I don't know, 10? She's like a young girl. So I want to see, like, do they meet each other? Right? Does she meet him? Does he get to see the fruit of his loins? Does he get to see Fang again? Like, I'm really interested in what they're gonna do with this. God, I hope they don't screw it up. God, I hope they don't screw it up. I know people felt that way about Samurai Jack. The last season of Samurai Jack, I really enjoyed, but a lot of people felt they dropped the ball with the ending so badly, in fact, that when they released a video game afterwards, that video game changed the ending of the show. Apparently, that's a bit wild. So we'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, so we got all our X's. I'm gonna lock that for now. And yeah, now we're just in a text layer. I was gonna put a little date in the top because usually bingo cards have a little like put on the date here. You know, we can always that's not a big deal. We can always like refresh it every stream or so. Alright, what else? What is stream related? I mean, I'm nowhere near the point where I'm going to get, what's it called, bits and subscribers. I'm not there yet. I mean, I should technically put it on it somewhere. Wherever it goes, that's not going to be a bingo for quite a long time. I'll tell you that much. This is early stream stuff. Let me see. Drawing in the wrong layer. What else? I am taking more artwork as opposed to video game streams. If you're doing a video game, it's kind of hard to do a bingo card when you're doing a video game. It's not as chill. Especially if you're playing like Resident Evil, you're not going to stop and hit your bingo card. Do. Oh, you know what? Let's see. This is a little silly, but let's put how about right here? That's good too. I like that. But for the you know, I might add that. But for the struggle right now, especially for people like myself, who are always trying to find the right music. Is it ad with 2 Ds for advertisement? I always forget. No, it's just one. Yeah, it's 1D for advertisement. Okay. So ad. Ad starts playing over music because I hate it when I choose a playlist and all of a sudden there's freaking ads like just loudly interrupting the chill. I know it sounds silly, but it does happen. Just like breaks the chill of like, I just want to, you know, I just want to draw. I don't want freaking. I don't want to hear some guy trying to sell me freaking protein powder or some BS like that. It's above the raid, above the bot, goes right there. Sounds silly, but it's true. You know what? Yeah, why not? Happy accident. Let's put on top. Let's do that. It's a good idea. Good idea. You know what? Capitalize that. I also decided to turn them sideways just to give them like a bit more, make them look a bit more interesting. That's a good one. Happy Trees. One of my favorite jokes. So this joke's been done multiple times. But there's variations of it. There's the one where in Family Guy, he's watching an episode of Bob Ross. I forget what the lead-in joke is. They say something and it cuts to a cutaway gag. I forget what the lead into the cutaway gag is. But it's just Bob Ross, really chill, just being like, we're gonna put a little secret cottage right here. Cause he used to do that. He used to like, put a cottage in the background. It's a secret cottage. We're gonna put a little secret cottage right here. It's all secret. Just me and you. Just me and you. And then he like quickly gets really angry and he's like, just me and you. And if you tell anyone, I'll freaking kill you. It's like, if you tell anyone about a secret cottage, I'll freaking kill you. And then I saw another drawing, another joke. This was a drawing. It wasn't Family Guy. And it's Bob Ross basically just doing like a really like, it was just some artist did a single panel comic. And it's Bob Ross painting like a really tasteful nude. It's just a woman like this. And like, I think in the picture she has one arm covering her breast. And like the canvas cuts just near her pelvic line. But you could see like the pubic hair. And it's just, or where it would be, that is. And it's just Bob Ross saying, we're going to draw a little happy bush right here. Let's go paint a little happy bush. And I saw that one picture and I'm like, I want that as a t-shirt. I want the happy bush Bob Ross as a t-shirt. I got to find out what artist that was. It was an artist I saw like years ago. Just like one of many jokes he did on his freaking page. So now I'm thinking, we have new chat. We have bots selling you OnlyFans and bots selling you views. I could put dirty talk in chat. The kind of stuff that gets you banned. The kind of stuff like, you try to ban. And knowing my friends, I have a few friends that would do that. So why not? Why not? We're gonna put with let's put it over here. Freaking cap lock is on. I think faster than I type, and that's the problem with me. Chahat! 2 H's. Chahat! Yeah, that's like that's a reference to a few of my friends who might like drop in a innuendo somewhere in the chat just to mess with me, make me giggle. And once again, this is no, this is nonsense. What just happened? No. This is more art related. Maybe I will make one for games as well. You know what? Let's put can't find tool. That happens to me all the time. I'm working with a new program and I just cannot find the right art tool. Like earlier, I was looking through like 5 different pen tools. Can't find tool because I can't stand when that happens. I was telling there was a I saw a tweet by the artist Jolly Jack. I love Jolly Jack. His artwork is that like fun. It ranges from like funny kind of like sexy pinups to like really well detailed sci-fi stuff. Like he has a real eye for that. Kind of like 90s anime sci-fi, big spaceships with tons of debris on them. But he also has like a strong political side to him, mainly in like pointing out the stupidity of certain politicians. But he did post this thing about like, Adobe Photoshop is super expensive now. You can't own it. You have to rent it. And I commented, if I could find it, I commented in the post like, let me switch over. I can make sure I'm showing you guys. So people were commenting like, yeah, we can't stand Photoshop. They got rid of Flash, which was like the dominant form of like basic frame by frame and tweening animation. Like freaking Newgrounds existed because of Flash. They got rid of that a few years back. And then I've commented, well, sometimes, man, you gotta hold on to all that physical media. Because back in the day, someone commented back in the day, when you bought Adobe Photoshop, it was like an arm and a leg and a kidney. And then Jolly Jack replied, well, with the money you're spending leasing it now, it's even more. Then I replied, I still got my Photoshop 7. I have Photoshop 7, and I got the book. The book is like, it's that thick. It's at least an inch. And the first page, if you open it up, it's a hard piece. It's not even a page. It's like a pamphlet, and it's all the hotkeys. Now, I never even read through that book. I got this back in high school and just like brute force learned how to use it. Not the best way to go about it, I mind you. But I still got this Photoshop 7. I still have the book for it, and Photoshop 7 works on Windows 10. There's a weird thing that happens on mine where, like, if I try to save it directly to the drive, it won't save. But if I save anything I have to the desktop, it does. So I just save to the desktop, and then I just transfer the file over. I am not using it anymore though, because this program, excuse me, the program I'm using now, which is Clip Studio, it was just more friendly. It's a bit more up to date in terms of what it could do. Clip Studio was meant for comics, and even now I'm learning Clip Studio just by doing it. I shouldn't look at the tutorials. I should definitely look at the tutorials, but I'm just going through it, and I'm using the free version of Clip Studio. Now they have one you pay for, but that's because the free version was so good, and then they added more stuff, and then say you gotta pay for it, and that's fine. They made you pay for it after they added the bells and whistles, you know? Sorry, this earplug's bothering me. I was there. I was there with a text. I'm trying to think what other quotes are like that. I'm trying to think of. I was there when the dial-up sound kept you up at night. I remember, God. It's like I love messing with my younger cousins. And I point to certain things like, what is this? And on their phone, I go, what is that? And they go, well, that's a save button. I go, yeah, but what is it? What is this image of the save button? And they're like, I don't know. And I go, it's a freaking floppy disk. They don't know what a floppy disk is. Don't know. I mean, hell, when I got this freaking computer made, when I got this PC made for me by a friend, I was like, oh, so like, CD drives aren't standard no more? He's like, nope. I went and had to buy a separate CD drive. I had to buy like a plug-in CD drive for this computer because it's just not standard anymore. That blew my freaking mind. All right, what else we got? What else we got? You know what? I'll put lost file. Yeah. Or corrupt file. That also makes sense. But I'll put lost file for now. Because I've done that where I've tried to open up something and I just can't freaking find it. There's nothing worse than being like, where's that drawing I did? Did I misplace it? Did I misname it? Like, you start going through all the folders, looking and looking and looking, and it's like, God dang it. Even worse when you have to, like, not have to, but when you want to use it for the next stream. Let's pick up where we left off. I put Raid in there, even though, like, once again, I have like 29 subscribers, I think. I ain't gonna get rated anytime soon. Unless my friend sends them over. But a lot of my friends haven't been streaming lately. I told my buddy, listen, next time we do a shovel match, you let me know. They introduced me to the idea of shovel matches. Is it Call of Duty? Some people call them knife matches. But basically, any tool like in games like Call of Duty that are like one hit kills. In the game they play, it's shovels. And you just drop like 20 guys into a place in which the respawn is like almost instantaneous, and they just go at it with shovels, running around, chasing each other. I'm like, when do you guys do this? Let me know, man. I'll freaking download the game or whatever. And they're like, oh, we do it at like 2 in the morning. I'm like, freaking weirdos. You freaks of nature, man. I can't do that. Some of us have day jobs. Right. I'm gonna save. Let's take a minute from this, because I can't sit here and just stare at a blank screen trying to figure out things to write. Let's talk. Let's look at some other artwork while we're here. A-doo-be-doo-be-doo. Where is my comic? Just speaking of files, I have 2 folders. One is called Costume, which is photographs and the progress of costumes I've worked on. One is called Consume, which is a comic I worked on. I actually want to see if I can finish Consume. Consume was kind of like a not one hit wonder, but like a one-time comic I want to do, like a single issue comic I want to try and work on. I should return to that. I just wasn't really sure how to. I knew the ending, I knew the start, parts of the middle, and the ending, but it was like the tendons that connected those parts just really couldn't come to me. Where are you? Doop, 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 doop. There we go. Comic ideas. Ooh. You know what? Let me open it up. Yeah, I'll show you the JPEGs for this. Let it just load for a second. So these were all done on your like 11 by 17 comic book pages, right? And these were all done in pencil originally, and this is more or less how far I got. And it's kind of it was inspired by the movie Creepshow, primarily that part where the meteorite lands in the back of Stephen King plays like a hillbilly, and it lands in the backyard, and this kind of this kind of that vibe, right? So you have not a rocket, you have this meteor hurtling through space, and it crashes into a backyard of Sam's scrap. And you have this trailer home. You have Sam, this heavy-set guy. You never see his face in the beginning. He has this heavy-set guy. Kind of lives like a slob. It's less a scrapyard and more of just a kleptomaniac's dream. That's kind of what he is. And he's sleeping when, boom, the meteor hits in the back in the scrapyard. He comes out. There's a silhouette of him. He comes out at this top shot of the entire, more or less, the junkyard. Just garbage everywhere. I'm not really good at drawing like massive spaces like this, so I'm happy with the silhouette, not happy with the rest of it. And he comes out, and the dialogue was going to be him screaming, "Is that you, Sanchez? I told you I got your money!" He's a bit of a has-been. And he starts making his way to the junk, starts pointing and yelling, thinking there's someone there. You have smoke billowing from over the hill. He climbs over and sees this giant crater with a glowing light coming out of it. He approaches the crater, and you can see, like, on the side is the meteor, the smoke coming up, and the smoke obscures his face. This a solid black and white comic. And it cracks open, and what you got, it was like an egg, or rather an egg yolk. It's like an egg yolk, but where the yolk would be, it's an eyeball. It's this gelatinous blob. And then it looks at him, and he swings back. He swings back the monkey wrench, and you hear him screaming. The next scene is just him with with the thing in his face. "Get it off me! Get it off me!" And then he passes out. Fade to black. And then he's unconscious. Wakes up. It's kind of his point of view as he's walking back towards trailer. He opens it. He's walking back towards the bathroom. Let's go at Dutch angles. And then you see him from behind. And I thought I did not do the 8th page. Oh, these are all in Photoshop. I did start inking them. Let me see. Did I have one inked? Yep, I started inking them in Photoshop. Oh, another thing about Clip Studio, it does translate stuff from Photoshop into Clip Studio, which is very nice. So I did start inking these. I did. But essentially, from here, he looks into the mirror. Okay, where are you? And I'm going to find the picture right now. which was a character design of him. So sneak peek on that. I don't know why I didn't have it in this folder. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Stop. Stop. P for People Eater. I should put this in the same folder. Why didn't I do that? One moment. Organizing my folders. Stand by. There's a I gotta find the censored version. Give me a second. There we go. Bam! Had to find the censored version. This is for stream. This is Consume, aka the Purple People Eater. It is inspired by the song It Was a One-Eyed, One-Horned, Flying Purple People Eater. Essentially, Sam has stuck to his face this bioweapon that's just like a visor, but it has like an eye that moves around, these big giant like mandible kind of claws. He's this heavy, you know, he's a, what do you call it? Is he a bear? Is that the term? Bear? I don't know. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. This drawing was done years ago. And essentially, he eats inorganic matter. He opens his mouth and like a vacuum, he could suck up like metal and trash, anything inorganic, and he could then basically convert it into energy, and he shoots a beam from his face. The fun thing is, like, you see the stripes on the horn. When the more he eats, the more energy it builds up. And so Sam is just like, he is this guy with no prospects, average Joe, doesn't want to really do anything, and now he basically has like an alien weapon welded to him. Think it's a little bit of Earthworm Jim, a little bit of Blue Beetle, and it's just like, what you gonna do now, Sam? He goes, I don't know, man. Who gives a damn? Like, Sam doesn't care. He tries to go into town with like a cowboy hat on. He kind of tries to hide it. People are like, what happened, man? And he's like, I lost a bet. Like, everyone thinks it's just a mask he's wearing until he begins like blasting stuff. And at first he uses it to like win a bar fight. He uses it to show off, but he doesn't really care about it. And the idea is, there's 2 slots. So if he eats a lot, he could charge the beam, which just like wrecks stuff. It's kind of like Cyclops' beam. It just like hits things hard. Or if he lets it charge even further, if he decides to consume and store that energy, big spoiler, the mask then extends and gives him a full bodysuit. So it's either use it quick and just shoot beams, or use it responsibly and give yourself a full bodysuit. And what happens then? I know. I'm not going to give it away. That was Consume. It was an idea. It was like, I want to make a fun character. I'm not going to do an entire universe about it. It's just going to be about this guy, bit of a slob, kind of wasting his life away. Everyone's like, yo, do something with your life. You have this giant like scrapyard. You could sell half the stuff there and make a good amount of money. But he's like a klepto. He prefers keeping things the way they are. He collects old signs from buildings that don't exist anymore. He collects old cars. He'd rather just like live in a stagnant state than let things change. That's Sam. That's who he is. And he's a guy who literally has no intention of doing anything important, who now has an alien space weapon welded to his face. And that was the idea for Consume. And now that I'm talking about it, I might get back into it. I might try to finish it. It was just a matter of like, I wasn't sure how to finish it. Like, I knew the ending, I knew some middle points. I wasn't sure how to fill in those in between gaps. Pretty much, that's what it is. And I made it where like it's meant to be a visor. It's almost kind of flat, but since the eye itself moves around, that's how I get some of the like emotion. The little eye in the center does like get angry and grimace, so like the frame stays the same. He doesn't have much facial expression. But yeah, he just kind of opens his mouth and like with a 20-foot distance, more or less. He could like just eat anything inorganic, stone, buildings, cars, anything like that. People's clothes. We get to the bar fight with the guy. He like eats the guy's like pants, and the guy's just like, oh! And that's kind of the idea. It's kind of what I did with him. And who, like, you know, like I said, I might decide to go back to this. I might decide to go back to it. Or maybe I'll just bite the bullet and not worry too much of the in-between parts. I have the main parts. The whole intro. Him going into town. The intro. Him talking to a friend. Who was trying to convince him to sell his property. Which is like the hint as to what kind of person Sam is. Him going to the bar trying to be chill. Him starting a fight at the bar. Him winning the fight. More or less. And then the climax is that some aliens show up. But between him winning the fight in the bar and him running into the aliens, I'm not too sure what to do in between that. That's the issue. I guess he was more fun as a character as opposed to a character with an exact origin story. He's kind of like a side character that'll show up somewhere. And sometimes that happens. You know, you get stuck. Do I have more facial expressions? I thought I did a few more facial expressions. Oh yeah, here we go. So since the mask naturally has a slight bend to it, it does work to make him look angry. When he gets scared, the pupil shrinks. That's just him with a trucker hat, just a backwards trucker hat, trying to hide what the helmet, like the whole face. Good. Oh yeah, the underjaw, like okay, like that kind of like just trying to get expressions off of that. Has kind of a Zoidberg look to him, doesn't he? Was it the Zoidberg face is like, well, so like it's like that's like you pinch your cheek to make the voice of Zoidberg. I can't do it. Sorry. All right. Let's get back on track. Speaking of comics, let's talk about comics for a minute. So, take a break from the bingo card. In the last few art streams, we made this. We made this mini comic. Give me a second. Sorry, I keep clicking on something. Don't know what the deal is with that. Okay. Delete that. We made a mini comic. Once again, this is a comic all done on one page in a certain order. You fold it up. You print it out. You fold it up. You could choose to staple it or not. And you get yourself a nice mini comic. We got a mini comic I was very, very proud of. Now this is definitely more of a Pulp Fiction mini comic in that there's not much meat to it. It's pretty straightforward. A lot of the heavy lifting is done by the narration. By Narration Box. We did that, right? This is the Micro Menace. It is issue 1. I got the second page, issue 2, started. So, let's talk about the comic. Let's talk about the Micro Menace. Or rather, let's do something with the Micro Menace. So, I know some of the ideas I want to do for the second and third issue. So, for fun, let's draw a character that might show up either in this or the second issue. Or the third issue, sorry. So we're going to draw a character. It's meant to be a tall, dark, and mysterious man. So we're going to have some fun. and just kind of come up with it and kind of fit it in this box. Because the issue with the microcomics is, of course, trying to fit lots of information in a short amount of time and space. So we're gonna do just a kind of like silhouette, that's a character concept of a short of the mysterious man. The idea is our leading lady, Brooke B. Beauty, is more or less on the run, and she's approached by this tall, dark stranger. Just want to do a fun silhouette of like what would he look like when you open the door, when she opens the door. What does it? What What does she see? Need to get a reference of man in trench coat, just to get the collar correct. There we go, man in trench coat. Yeah, in fact, what I get is some nice tall, dark, mysterious men. Yeah, that works. Okay. Real broad-shouldered. Nope, trench coats are. Trying to get like this straight here. Change color. Real simple kind of idea, right? Because this comic is black and white, so I'm kind of really having fun with just like pushing those silhouettes. Okay, so let's take this for a minute. Let's imagine something a little. So imagine it'll probably be like a little word bubble on top over here that says like, or narration, but then a tall dark stranger walks in, and then he just announces himself. Kind of quarter angle of Betty looking up and saying, "Oh my goodness, who is this? Who is this tall, dark stranger?" Yada yada yada, that kind of thing. So I think we'll stick more or less with this. this scale for this particular page because I am winging it. I know the story I want. I'm just kind of winging like where the dialogue goes. That's the fun of this comic. Oh, you know what? I got one. We got one. We got one. Hold on. Here we go. Come on. There we go. So, why did the C not show up? Shift C. Control Z. Is it Den or Dan? Always forget. More Den? More than, let's say 5 times. Control Z more than 5 times in a row. We're just going delete, 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 delete. We'll figure out how it's going to fit. Control Z more than 5 times in a row. I have to shrink down the text a little bit to fit it in. Let's see. Yep, we're going to shrink this text down. It is at 18. Let's go to 16. 1, 2. And I forgot to put... There we go. Control Z more than 5 times in a row. That's for everyone who's like, just delete, 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 delete. Fix, 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 fix. When you've gone so far past like making a mistake, it just you have to salt the earth. That's a good one. Save. All right. Let's get back to this. Just gotta figure out how much I want to make of him as a silhouette and how much is gonna be shaded. We'll figure that out. This kind of joke I want to go with this guy. This guy's like almost always in shadow. That's the whole idea. Ooh, why is the erase tool so big? Jeez. Give him that stubble. Yeah, I'm debating like just like how much of it is just solid black and white on this guy. It kind of works, you know. Where is that tool? That's a nice tool. There we go. There we go. That's true. Actually, no, you know what? That's a good idea for the plot twist I have in store for this one. So he shows up, tall, dark, and handsome. Tall, dark, and mysterious. That's the joke. He has no name. He's referred to as tall, dark, and mysterious. In regards of someone else showing up wearing a white suit. I mean, it's no big secret. Think spy versus spy. Think spy versus spy. Needless to say, this gentleman, so much like the last comic, this is all stories from Lab 37. So Lab 37 is where the Micro Menace escapes from, is where Brooke Beauty works at. And she is right now being pursued, more or less, by people from Lab 37 and other places. This gentleman claims to be a member of Lab 37 who is there to help her, because there's all been a misunderstanding. But we do find out that he is also a scientist at Lab 37 who works in the cloning department. So when another mysterious, tall, dark, and mysterious figure shows up claiming that he is actually the scientist from Lab 37 who's in charge of the cloning department, that is where the white suit comes in. It is a spy versus spy joke. Thank you. Because I wasn't sure if I was going to do both of them as the exact same. I think, you know what? I will combine that suggestion with my original idea. I'll do one in white, one in black, and a scuffle happens, and they both lose their trench coats, and then you have the typical which one's which one's the good guy gag. But when they first show up, there will be a flip. So yeah, I'll probably do one in the white suit, one in the black suit. But when it comes down to it, which one's the good guy and which one is which, by the time the comic ends, that's the fun part. I'll see if I can work it in. Once again, the real trick is that you have the front cover, back cover, and only 6 pages to tell the story. So I gotta find a way to make that work. How do you fit that twist into it? How do you fit the twist and the switch up into it at the same time? That's the real fun of these macro comics. Just trying to figure out how it fits in there. Not as clean as I liked it to be. We'll fix that. Also, another issue with, doing a comic of this scale, you have to ask yourself how much, not much detail is needed, which is why I'm going with this really simple black and white on this. My cross hatching isn't really messy, and that's the point of it. Like, you don't need to do fine detail in a comic at this scale. God, I just bought myself some new black ink. Oh God, a pack of color and black ink. It's like the number of the ink is 62. The freaking price was 67. It is. It's getting wild out there, man. Freaking ink, kidding me? No. Try again. Got some real Samurai Jack vibes going on here, doesn't he? I do want to round the edges a little bit. You could tell it was done with like a harsh tool. Where am I going? Let's add hints of like where the arms are. Now let me take away that. There we go. I really shouldn't be using the erase tool for the white areas. I should just be using white. Because then if I put something behind it, it's gonna, you know, look right through it. So I should be like drawing in white. Super simplistic, but I like him. I like him. Let's save that. So technically, not technically, originally, that's the right word. Originally, comic number 2 wasn't even going to have this guy in it. Comic number 2, an assassin shows up, a seemingly assassin shows up to apparently silence Betty Beauty and steal the Micro Menace from her. This guy shows up in issue 3. That's the idea I have. I want to say this is the size of the book it's going to fit in. All the mini comics are being printed, and I'm going to make a little booklet and sell like 3, like the booklet will have like, I want to say 4 comics, given the size of this. Yeah. There's a prototype made out of really standard paper. I'm going to use a harder cardstock to make these boxes. So I'm thinking 4 comics in one package. So it'll probably be the assassin attempt, the will they won't they character of this character, and then maybe the final comic. Just quick, simple storytelling. Looking up some quick reference right now. Oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Who the hell on Etsy is selling Ninja Turtle covers? Fudge off, man. I want to do a nod to the greats. Let's copy that image. Fun fact, at least last time I checked, the official Ninja Turtle website, which I don't know if it's owned by Nickelodeon or whatever, but the original official Ninja Turtle website, owned by the creator, at least the one I found a few years ago, you can read the original comic, the original one shot. That's the term. That's the word I'm thinking of. The original one shot on that website. Speaking of which, woo! Hey, Red. So I'm bouncing around right now with a few ideas, but we started with this. It is more the art stream bingo card. This is my art stream bingo card. Oh, cool, man, cool. Any ideas what to toss in here? I mean, I could put things like first subscriber, I put raid, but those are things I'm probably never going to get in my lifetime. This is more art related streams, but is there anything stream related that we could put in a bingo card? I really should, just to round it out, I really should put subscription, new subscriber somewhere in here as well. If you have any ideas, let me know. Also, what anime have you been checking out? Anything new? Okay, so we're going to use this pose, and we're going to have a fun reference with it. I know it's a different culture, especially in terms of their media, but I still find it wild that they're like pumping new things every year. Every year, brand new series, brand new series based off of old IP. Freaking, I wish America did that, man. I miss the heavy flow of content that used to be the 80s. Yes, it was all TV commercials that sold toys to us, but that did motivate them to come up with some crazy stuff. I hear some really popular anime. Everyone's talking. I keep hearing about that anime. There you go. And they say the animation boom ended back in the 80s for freaking Japan. See, I'm going to do a ninja assassin. I'm going to use this exact pose. So for those who know, they will know. I really should resize it though. Better for the actual... Let me see, that's our box. Okay, enter. Okay. Alright, so let's use Raphael as our concept here. Am I in the wrong layer? There we go. Oh no, what I'm doing? That's stupid. We're not going to do an exact to this. He's going to have different weapons. He's going to be holding them differently too. So... gotta look at my own hand to see if I'm doing it right. There we go. Big meaty hands. Big meaty claws. Our friend Cartorius Rex isn't here, but if he was, he'd be super proud of me. There is a comic, is an independent comic called Steel Streets. I've met the author a few times. He actually has a these are like original comics, but the size of a manga, heavily influenced by Ninja Turtles. Absolutely, that sword is all janked sideways. I gotta fix that. It looks weird to me. Oh, you know what it is? It's the handle. The handle's weird. Anyway, Steel Streets. He has he's published several comics, like all within. Sorry, give me one moment. I need to do something. All underneath his banner, he's managed to publish several comics. And if you go to Forbidden Planet in New York City, off of 14th Street, he even has like his little poster on the front window. So good for him. So independent comics are alive and well, and it's purposely gritty in terms of its style. It looks just like this first issue of Ninja Turtles, of just like, you know, angry, gritting teeth looking dudes. And I like it. I like the style. Yeah, okay, that's better. Just the angle was weird. Really bothered me. Okay, Zero. The snow awaits. If you ever watch, speaking of Tartakovsky, if you ever watch Samurai Jack, one of the most famous episodes is Jack. It's not Ninja. I think it's Jack versus the Shinobi, or maybe it is Jack versus Ninja. Because don't forget, all those shows were numbered. They didn't really have titles. As when he fights the ninja dressed in all black, and Jack turns his outfit inside out to make it more reflective, and it's this beautifully done, surreal black and white battle, literally just black and white. There are no shades, and it's like one of the original episodes. It's so freaking good. Can I cheat? Can I cheat with this? Hold on. Let me see if I can cheat with this. If I flip it vertically, I just turn it. Yep. And we cheat. Cancel. Yeah, whatever. Come on. Just shrink it just a little bit. I don't want to mess up like the pixels of my line, but I gotta fit it within the print barriers. Also looks kind of weird. I'm just gonna have him standing on the coffee table. How about we go an extra mile? Let me type in Oni mask. Get some reference for that. I don't want to just give him the regular bandana. Oni mask. I forget some Onis have like the heavy eyebrows, look kind of sad sometimes, or like just extra goofy. Oh yeah, broad nose, curved outward teeth, sometimes collapsed brow. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Hanye mask. Hold on. I'm probably saying that wrong, but yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I'm gonna see if I can find one that's not done by an artist. That's just, well, it's an artist, but like old traditional museum looking ones. Yeah, I'll use this as a, yeah. This is like a kind of blank one I could probably use. Copy image. It's a paste that image. You can use this as a basic layout for the proportions. Perfect. Delete that. Drop the opacity. Select turn. I still want to get it. Right about there. Okay. Zoom in. A little bit more. That seems like a good proportion. Yeah, then I'll work around the rest of it. Okay. Thank you for the exact name of it. And then I'm going to kind of exaggerate it. Make it look a bit scarier, I guess. I might connect the top. Yeah, I might. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna really exaggerate the cheekbone, so it has a more of like a skull look to it. Oop, not what I meant to do. Stay. Red, did you ever watch? I think we talked about it. It's the anime about the girl who's silent most of the time. She has like this really nice, like her and her mom both have this really like distinct hairstyle. It's like almost like curved to the side almost. And the whole thing is like she's apparently very anxious, and like she's very anxious and always very quiet. And I think the main joke is that like in the show, many classmates believe the way she acts is that she's really confident and like poised, but in truth she's just afraid to talk to someone. It's something, I forget the name of the character. It's someone doesn't talk. Chemo can't communicate. Was that just one season? Because I know for a while she was like, she was the it girl for a while in the anime scene. In anime, among the otakus. Okay. Give him a pointed nose. It's inverted. Give him white specks for eyes. That looks good. I realized this whole time I've been using 0.5, not 0.4. Not the biggest difference, but still. Oh no, that was the erase. That was the eraser. I am using 0.4. Good, good. Give it some character. Nice. That looks good. I like that. Let's get rid of that layer. What just happened? I can't see what's over there. Ooh, something is happening. Hello? Don't crash on me now. I went to hit delete, and the box that normally pops up that says, "Do you want to hit delete?" It's like semi-transparent for some reason. Yes, delete. And with that being said, I'm gonna hit save real quick. So we're not even doing the comic really. We're just doing characters for the comic. Kind of figure out what the next step is. Okay, so that looks weird. Let's fix that. For shortening, who loves it? I don't. That's for sure. kind of thinking of giving him a chest plate. I don't know why I want to just... I don't know why I want to, like, overdo this character. I kind of want to, but I don't know why. I am thinning out his body. I should draw this in a second layer beneath it. There we go. We'll find out with this kind of fudging the shape of everything. I'm trying to like mimic the turtle pose, but then there's also the anatomy of the fact that these turtles are short. So it's giving me some issues here. I'm gonna probably cheat and put something in front of the foot there, because that makes no sense. That pose makes no sense anyway. I don't know why I'm so tempted to give him a chest plate. Maybe it's because of the turtle anatomy. Looks like a little kid. That helmet's so big. Looks like a little kid. It's getting there. I think I need to... Yeah. I think in the final image they're gonna be like on top of the person's stove. That's what they're standing on the person's stove. That's what's going on here. They burst through the kitchen window. They're there to cause trouble. You have no idea where the dialogue box is gonna go. I'm just drawing the background as it is right now. I might end up deleting half this background. Such is life. Tools. Circle tool. Hollow. Thank you very much. That is not what I meant to do. Whoa, that is way too big. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Let me get rid of the turtle layer. I'll put like a pot and pan that like blocks the feet. We'll figure out just how much of the suit is going to be black, how much is going to be crosshatch material. Super simple, but I like it. I really like it. Granted, the mask is a bit big, and it kind of gives him like a little, like a gremlin look. Maybe that's a joke. Maybe I'll make a joke in the comic about like, why is this ninja so short? Excuse me, whose child is this? Whose child is running around in my kitchen at the moment? Let's make that handle solid black. Oh, almost solid black. I might do that, that like fake sheen like that. There you go. That looks nice. Do 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 do. I like that. Let me combine all of these lines. Merge. Merge for the kill. Sorry, that's a Transformer reference. Save. We got ninjas and spies. Don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. I do want to use these two pictures. I don't know what to do with them yet. Alright. It's not super late. But let's go back to our bingo card. I want to add stuff to it. Just gotta figure out what to add to it. I should, you know what? Bite the bullet. Give me a second. Huh. That's interesting. So I'm just checking his a spell check thing. If you leave it all in caps, spell check doesn't recognize it sometimes. Okay, let me turn that cap lock off. If I misspell it, and I'll figure it out later, guys. Such is my life. Now, I shouldn't cheat, but I just know wherever I put it, I'm not gonna get something there. I'm not gonna put with raid. With the raid is kind of iffy. Yeah, let's put it over here. Boop. Nice. I would put audio gets flagged, but that happens after the fact. You wouldn't know about that until you... Give me a second. There we go. Yeah, so you wouldn't know about the audio getting flagged until later on. So I'm trying to think, what else can we fill up? We have a few slots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 slots to fill in this. Or to fill this in. You know what? Let's put that in there. put interruption. Because someone's always trying to call you at the most inappropriate time. I'll put it right here. Don't know why it's in bold. There's just certain things, no matter what I do, there's certain things like it keeps like resetting no matter what you do. Come on, focus, focus, stay. There we go. Where was that control? Delete that goes there. Let me see. Bot selling views, and then after that, yeah. I don't really need to like line these up in the layers properly, but I wanna do that. Because there's always someone trying to call you. Oh. Save. Don't forget to save. A lot of these are kind of negative. Like, don't forget to save. Trying to think maybe some positive ones. Aside from the obvious, you know, subscriptions and things like that. It'll come to me. Come on now. Ah, I think I know how to set up this first page. Let us start with the obvious. Page 1. Restore the narration. Let's go. Ah, shoot. What did I use for them? I think I used Calibri for everything originally. Right? Calibri 13 font, right? And then for the dialog boxes, come on, unlock. Yeah, I think all across the board it was all 13. Don't save. All right. Prepare to see the worst typing you've ever seen in your life. It's not going to be bold. It's going to be Calibri. It's going to be 13. All right. We are typing upside down. at the edge. So, as the cool winter air blows outside, I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to flip this around that way you guys can see exactly what I'm typing. That was not what I meant to do. Shift and rotate, that way it's perfect. Alright. So, Brooke has returned to her home. Brooke B. Beauty has returned to her home and is attempting to figure out what to do next. Outside is not going to fit there, so we're going to fix that. Okay, outside won't fit there. I'm going to put that right there. Not what I'm meant to do. Okay, so Brooke makes sure. You know what? It's driving me crazy. Just do it that way. There we go. I was centering the font and it was driving me nuts. To keep subject M. Safe and warm. So Project M, or Subject M, once again, in warm temperature stays small, but in cold temperature expands into a hulking creature. And right now, our lovely heroine is trying her best not to get killed while keeping Subject M safe. Okay. There will be spelling errors. I do not apologize for it. We'll come back to it later. So, as a cool winter air blows outside, Brooke makes sure, I'll fix the word sure, don't worry about it, to keep Subject M safe and warm in her small inside. Inside her small apartment. Put some dialogue box. Maybe she says something along the lines of, yeah, so we'll do this. Why is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. It is also flipped. Bear with me. The hell's going on? distractions. One second, guys. One moment, everyone, because there's that distraction. Like I said, today we are making the bingo card. We are not filling it out just yet. That was my Focus Friends. Try it out, guys. Focus Friends. Free app, and it's really good for people who look at their phone way too much. And with that, okay, just be sure to shoot me a text in the morning. Family stuff. Everything's good, but you're always on call. All right, let's grab this. This is her dialogue, right? We're gonna start. This is how I usually do it. I usually like figure out the dialogue spacing and then kind of draw around that. So we have a basic intro. As a coolant air blows in outside, Brooke makes sure to keep subject M2 safe and warm inside her small apartment. And then she's boiling water. She says, "I'll boil some water to soak you in. I just hope no one's mad about what happened at the lab." I might rephrase that. So this is like the setup, and then the narration says, and just like that, on cue, the ninja comes bursting in through the window. I might rephrase that. I just hope no one's mad about what happened at the lab. No, I might change that. Oh. I know what to do now. So I'm thinking I'll probably show her holding him like this. Which is a good way to like fit a kind of arch in the artwork. So something like that. Bring that text box over. So her head is on this side and she's holding her hands like that. Yeah. We got this. We got this. Let's put some boxes down. What is that? Okay, nothing. Okay, sorry. I'm just looking for like, what is that? What's that layer for? Always end up drawing a layer and then not needing it for some reason. All right. Or I could utilize, I could be a smart boy and utilize the word bubbles for what they're for. Because I just realized I could take a word bubble and make it pretty much perfectly square. Nope, needs to be white. There we go. There we go. And now it encompasses one layer of text and everything. Good. We're gonna lock that layer. Lock that layer. Do-do-do-do-do-do. In fact, I could cheat and grab this and move it all up a little bit. Just a little bit. There's gonna be plenty of room to work with for illustration and everything. Good. All right. Step 2. Profit. Ooh, that works very well. Ah, my eye, it itches. All right. You see. So I'm thinking, what's the dialogue here? I'll borrow some water to soak you in, and then maybe something like, oh, the heck was that? There we go. Why are you white text? You should be black text, and you should be at. You should not be in bold, and you should be at 13. And you should also be right side up. Okay. So far, I'm right now typing somewhere else. That way, I could, check my spelling errors. Okay, copy and paste. Okay, so how we're gonna fit this all in here? It's a lot of text. Let's see how it goes. Why are you like this? Actually, no. That should be right.
I think we need to do some rearranging. We gotta definitely do some rearranging. There we go. I know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. Just need to fiddle with some spacing. So it's okay if this text dips downward a bit. There we go. That's it. Oh, as my eye won't stop itching. There we go. And then we take that. Why does that never... So it has to be the same word bubble, doesn't it? Yeah, it has to be the same type of word bubble to connect them. Alright. It is what it is. That's that. And then we draw her right beneath it. We draw her holding the little micro menace. And then the next page, the ninja comes crashing through the window. The idea is, yeah. I like this. Yeah. Let me grab this ninja now. I'm on the wrong... I'm on an empty layer. Why am I on an empty layer? Let me change it to ninja. Let me unlock him. Transform him. Transformer! Bam. Probably put him like over here for now. Yeah. So we draw her here talking about, what she's going to do with him. Then in this panel, the ninja comes crashing through the window. He lands on top of the stove, where she was going to boil some water. The mans that have the micro menace. And the next 3 pages is the micro menace getting cold. Getting huge, pummeling the hell out the ninja, which is also when we realize that it has imprinted on Brooke, and then Brooke and the Menace run away. This is the revelation of people know she has Micro Menace. The Micro Menace listens only to her, and then she runs away, and that's the setup on this. So the ninja looks really cool, and then gets his ass kicked in. Gets his ass kicked in so much it implodes. In fact, let me do a save as. Label the next one number 3. Save that. Okay, so we're looking at number 3 right now. Because we're looking at number 3, we don't need the ninja. There's my cover. We're gonna adjust the cover again. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to unlock it, not make it disappear temporarily. Why do you do that? Impact 16, 2, 3. There we go. Yeah. And we're gonna close. Oh, cancel. We're gonna save that. That way, when I open up number 2, I can get rid of this mook because he's already saved on 3. Everybody got that? File save. All right. So we have the bare bones. I'm then going to have a shot with her face right here, like looking over her shoulder as something comes crashing through the window. So let's put this page 1. That's page 1. And for new dialogue, we're gonna do some filler dialogue right here. Mind you, I'm typing upside down, so I'm sure everything's spelling's weird. All right. We got some placeholder text right here for now. So just a reminder, this trim on the bottom and trim on the sides must be adhered to no matter what. But the trim on the inside can be fudged, which is why I'm kind of pushing it with the how close this is to the gray fold. I might want to adjust that, to be honest. It is kind of bugging me. Once you fold everything, that goes a little weird. Let me see if I can adjust that. Yeah, that feels a lot better. Nope. Just trying really hard to move this. There we go. That's the cool one. Yeah, because I need the smaller apartment part. Yeah, I feel better now. Those gray lines, they're there for a reason, but I don't want to push how much can fit by the edges. There's still a limitation. All right, file save. Okay, that's page 2. Then our ninja assassin is on page 3, along with a basic dialogue box. So we're gonna do some dialogue. Why do you keep making the font bold, you jerk? Let's increase that curve a bit more. Why does it look so weird? There we go. Once again, it makes it white, and once again, it makes it upside down. There we go. Copy. And we paste. Okay, so we gotta fix some things here. We're gonna move you out the way. Gonna move this like just a pinch down. Move him back up. Good. Grab that. Do that. Nope, that's a bit harsh. I think I need to adjust the size of... Nope, see, there's a little hook there. Nope. There we go. So you can still adjust a lot of it after the fact. There we go. Now I forget if I'm able to add. Is it around all of it? Ah, it does it around that. I'm trying to see if it lets me do it on the text. What I could do instead? Come on, let me just cancel. No, don't apply. What I do. And then separately. Nope. Nope, not inside that. I need to do it separately. Do not link it to this. To just give this go be a text somewhere else. Thank you. Okay. And then that being its own layer, I can do that. And that's how you get all of that. All right. So just, as the comedy of it of like, right now I'm the only one who knows about you and how to take care of you. And he goes, ha! And I will silence anyone who knows. There's plenty of room to add like a little dialogue box next to his foot. Next to his knee. I could draw her in there. I could draw her here. Maybe she drops him in the process. Maybe she says, "Oh no, you're letting all the cold air in," and then the next panel is him just wrecking this guy. All right, I'm gonna save that for now. I'm really enjoying the fact that he's gonna burst in so cool, look so cool, and next panel just gets smashed into like oblivion. He becomes one with the countertop of the kitchen. Oh man. Alright. Okay, so we go back to where we started. I still gotta think of things to add to this. It's a bingo stream about stream bingo. Once again, more on the art side, but we still got a few, obvious things here and there. And those work nicely. Alright. Kind of blanking out on this now. Blanking out on this right now. I don't feel like going too crazy with more of the comic at the moment. But it's good to know that some of it is moving forward. It's meant to be a casual project. I don't want to drive myself crazy with that. Same with this. This was a chill stream. Some bingo, some random silliness with the bingo card. Lightly figuring out the comic was also nice. Like I said, I have a project in my living room right now that's taking up space, which is this big inflatable costume project. I'm working from scratch, and it's almost in the finish line. Like it's completed and it's built. It's just its function is having issues. If I put 2 fans into this thing, it will hold its shape, but I shouldn't need 2 fans. I'm probably gonna add some more layers of the acrylic varnish material to kind of seal up as much as I can on this costume, because it needs to be not airtight, but air pressured. I don't want to have to carry 2 battery packs with me for this costume. It's so close. I want you guys to see it. It's not a perfect costume, but it's just really fun to make a giant inflatable head. So that's a costume. That's a project that's coming up in the future, guys. Well, it is here now. It is soon will be here in the future. And yeah, I want to say that's it. Let me turn off the music for a moment. Checking out some stuff. All right, Zero Jackson, Red Spectra. Thank you for dropping in. Always good to have some people in the chat. As a reminder to everyone, these videos usually stay up on Twitch for about a week or so. They are permanently saved over on my YouTube channel. It's all underneath The Burgos Art. Everything is The Burgos Art. The Instagram, the Twitter, the Blue Sky, and yes, the DVR as well. You have a good night, Red. You too. I do have a website. It is called theburgosart.com. Pretty simple as that. It is really just a small gallery website. I'm trying to beef it up and trying to find things to do with it. But basically, it's just a gallery, a few small portfolio pieces. I'm going to update the link page on that, which will have all the links to all the social medias. Check them all out. Just, a little traffic here and there goes a long way. Thank you very much for that. And I want to say that is that. So once again, guys, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.